Okay, so this video is going to be for 45, 45, 90 triangles. There's 4 examples that I'll work through. These are the easier examples. 30, 60, 90 is a little bit more. How I like to do these is I like to look at what I have, what information I have, and what information I need. So I'm given one of the legs. So I know that the leg is 4. If one leg is 4, that means the other leg is 4 because they are congruent. And we need to find the hypotenuse. That's always opposite our 90-degree angle. And we know that one leg is A, the other leg is A. The hypotenuse is always A radical 2. So this one's pretty easy because I'm given a leg. So then this is going to be 4 radical 2. So if you're given one of the legs on a 45, 45, 90 triangle, that's your easiest problem. Let's look at the next example. So here we need to find a leg, and I'm going to just cross out the A and B so it doesn't get confusing. And we need to find this leg, and we're given the hypotenuse. And we know that the hypotenuse is equal to A radical 2. So in this case, we need to solve for A. So we know that the hypotenuse is 2 radical 2. And we know that the hypotenuse is always equal to a leg, times radical 2. So we're just going to set up this little equation, and we're going to solve for A. So I just divide by radical 2. These cancel, and I end up with A is equal to 2. Once I know A, then I know my 2 legs, because my 2 legs are equal to A. So this is equal to 2, and this is equal to 2. So those 2 weren't that bad. We have 2 more examples. So these are a little bit more difficult because we have to deal with rationalizing our denominator, meaning that we can't have a radical in the denominator. And you'll see what I mean here. So first we want to look at what do we know? We know the hypotenuse. That's equal to 5. And we're looking for the 2 legs. So if we're looking for the legs, we need to find A. So we're going to use what we know to help us find A. So the legs are A, and the hypotenuse is A radical 2. So we're going to set up an equation. A radical 2 is equal to 5. Solve for A, divide by radical 2. We end up getting A is equal to 5 over radical 2. You can't leave a radical in the denominator, so we have to rationalize that, meaning we multiply by radical 2 over radical 2, which is like multiplying times 1. So we get 5 radical 2 on top. On the bottom, square root 2 times square root 2 is square root 4. That's a perfect square, so we end up with just 2. So now I know that A is equal to 5 radical 2 over 2, 5 radical 2 over 2. Okay, last one. And the last one, once again, start with what do you know? You know the hypotenuse. It's always opposite the right angle. So this is 2 radical 3. That is the same as A radical 2. And we're looking for the legs of the triangle. So if we can solve for A, we will know what the legs are. So if we need to find A. So I'm going to set up my equation. A radical 2 is equal to 2 radical 3. Trying to get A by itself, I'm going to divide by radical 2, divide by radical 2. I end up getting A is equal to 2 radical 3 over radical 2. Pain in the butt, but we can't have a radical on the bottom, so we have to rationalize. So multiply by radical 2 over radical 2. So I'm going to get 2. Radical 3 times radical 2 is radical 6 over 2. The 2 cancels, so I end up with a is equal to radical 6. So we're going to get radical 6 for our 2 legs. So that goes through 4 examples. The next video will be for 30, 60, 90 triangles.